Muy buenas amigos de Ready para Exportar. Esta semana le tenemos un programa bastante variado. Vamos a empezar por una entrevista que hiciéramos con el señor Dhanraj Harrypersad, que es el director general de exporTT, la entidad de promoción de exportaciones de Trinidad y Tobago, que nos habla sobre esa misión que este país del Caribe hizo a la República Dominicana y donde se encontraron muchas oportunidades de negocio, no solamente para ellos vender al mercado dominicano, sino que también compraron insumos y encontraron formas de trabajar con diferentes empresas de bienes y servicios de la República Dominicana, lo que augura una buena perspectiva para el comercio regional entre ambos países. Vamos a escuchar esa impresión de esa misión del señor Harrypersad.
Muy buenos amigos de Ready para Exportar. Le estuvimos comentando en días pasados la misión comercial de Trinidad y Tobago y las oportunidades que Trinidad y Tobago ofrece a la República Dominicana. Y hemos venido al lugar de la misión comercial para hablar con el director general de la Agencia de Promoción de Exportaciones de Trinidad y Tobago, Dhanraj Harrypersad, para que nos cuente qué tal ha ido la misión, cómo ve Trinidad y cuáles serían esos próximos pasos. Hello, Dhanraj, tell us about what has been your impression, how the mission has gone for companies from Trinidad and Tobago. You had 23 companies attending, so tell us about that.
Okay. So it's my first time in Santo Domingo, beautiful country. I'm happy to be here. And the Dominican Republic has always been a market that we would like to do more business in. You can see the interest by the number of companies that have come here. So it's certainly an important market that we would like to get into. Some companies in Trinidad and Tobago may have looked at some of the challenges, things like Law 173 in the past, and that may have discouraged them, but certainly those who attended the mission were able to attend the Doing Business seminar that was hosted, were able to understand those challenges a lot better, and now they have more courage and confidence in terms of coming to the market. Certainly, a lot of the companies have reported back that the leads were good. They've had more meetings that we've had in any other missions, I think. Most of them would have had an average of 10 meetings. Usually it's around 5 or 6. So that's a very good sign that there's an interest on the side of the Dominican Republic as well.
And tell us about the kind of products and sectors that have opportunities of doing more business with the Dominican Republic.
Okay. Our major non-energy sector, and that's a sector that we focus on exporTT, because our focus is on diversifying the economy away from oil and gas, which is our major revenue earner. So most of the products in that in that non-energy sector is food and beverage products, which works out well for the Dominican Republic. There's similar taste profiles, and trade can go both ways in terms of inputs coming into our food and beverage sector and then finished products coming to the Dominican Republic as well. There are also chemicals, companies with cleaning products as well, some apparel and textile industries. So we believe it's a good match for the opportunities here, and we have been getting very favorable feedback from the wholesalers, the distributors, the retailers with respect to the product. So we trust that there will be some business done. And as I was mentioning to the Minister of Trade earlier, our exports to the Dominican Republic has been very small, especially via the trade agreement. So definitely after this mission, we hope that we could get more business done and also get more of the inputs that we need for that food and beverage sector into Trinidad as well.
Just as you mentioned, some perception of barriers from the Trinidad side. Sometimes people think that we cannot do trade with the region because of transport, but that not exactly that is the issue.
Well, I think the pandemic sort of placed transport and logistics in a much different perspective. There's a lot of things that we source from the Far East, but during the pandemic, we saw that there were real alternatives that are close by, and nearshoring became much more important to us, especially when you need things in emergency situations. And although that was an emergency situation, we recognize that there could be regular supplies coming from those closer destinations as well. And things have been opening back, and we see shipping lines are coming back in and adding shipments. Just at the cocktail reception that we had a few days ago, there was a regular line going from Trinidad and Tobago to the Dominican Republic in 2 to 3 days. So that's not really an issue for us.
Yeah, even for fresh produce, 2 to 3 days is very good.
Yes, exactly.
And there is also a high demand of fresh produce in Trinidad, because your agriculture is not very big.
No, it's not. It's a very small country, and agriculture has not really been the focus. It's more on like manufacturing. So we do have to import quite a lot, and we'd rather import fresh, healthy produce, from close by with short lead times, rather than something from further away. And when it gets to Trinidad and Tobago, it's not as fresh. Yeah.
And also, I think that there are opportunities in services as well.
Yes, indeed, and that is a area that ExportTT has been focusing on in terms of our work with the Trinidad and Tobago Coalition of Services Industries. And we actually have a trade mission going to Jamaica soon that focuses on that, professional services, financial services, ICT, and some tourism type services as well.
And you have one of the greatest carnival in the world, so that is also a lot of opportunities for the creative industries.
Certainly, and it's not just the creative industry, but it usually spreads out across the entire economy, different services sectors and manufactured goods that flow into that as well. But certainly it is an exportable product, and we have seen our carnival going into different places. It's in Miami, it's in the UK, and even in Scandinavia we're seeing it popping up in Japan. So definitely it's a great product, and we'd like to see it in every country in the world.
And you have incentives for the creative industries as well.
Yeah, because it's a sector that is not recorded. We know it contributes significantly to the economy. There's difficulty in measuring it, but certainly we do have a lot of incentives in the area of film and fashion, tax incentives. So if you come into film, you have some duties that are eliminated, and certain rebates that are offered to you that is competitive. In fashion, we work with our fashion designers, support them, support their participation in different fashion shows abroad. And then in music, of course, that is heavily linked to our carnival, and we try to support our artists to get out to the world and participate in different forums as well. So the creative sector, we work very closely with our sister agency, Creative TT, and with all other sectors with TTCSI.
Well, some people have not been to Trinidad, and you have not one but two islands that are part of the countries. Tell us a little bit more about the difference between Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, so Trinidad is the sort of business capital, is very busy. I work in Port of Spain, and that's the capital city, so there's a lot of, that's where all the business, banks and finances, everybody goes to work to Port of Spain in the morning. There's a lot of traffic, not unlike Santo Domingo that I've experienced. And Tobago is much more laid back. You go there for a vacation. From the time you land in Tobago, you just feel at ease and calm and relaxed. So that's the difference. So if you're doing business, you go to Trinidad and you want to have a relaxation, or the tourism industry is really focused on that side. There's ecotourism in Trinidad. There's a lot of waterfalls and nice hikes, but the beaches are much nicer in Tobago.
Right, so I hope that some of the people that are seeing us see that there are many opportunities and it's a place for business and pleasure.
Yes, exactly.
To go to Trinidad, and not only in Carnival.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Dhanraj Harrypersad, General Manager of ExportTT.
También esta semana tuvimos 2 webinars, uno en inglés y uno en español, acerca de ChatGPT. Como ustedes saben, este servicio que ofrece OpenAI, que es una empresa, una plataforma de los Estados Unidos para interactuar con una base de datos extraordinaria que puede hacer muchas cosas para la generación de contenido y para muchos otros aspectos. Todavía estamos viendo apenas el nacimiento de una nueva era en la tecnología que va a cambiar la forma en la que trabajamos y la forma en la que interactuamos y la forma en la que podemos promover nuestros bienes y servicios. Y empezamos con nuestro experto en música, Carlos Delgado Imbert, en Next Consulting, en la Coalición de Servicios de República Dominicana, hablando sobre cómo usar ChatGPT para la música. Estos webinars fueron extraordinarios. Si usted se lo perdió y quiere escuchar estos webinars completos, pueden escribirnos al WhatsApp de Ready Para Exportar, el 809-713-0785, y nosotros con gusto les mandamos el link para que pueda conectarse. Pero mientras tanto, hoy le traemos algunas pinceladas de esa presentación que Carlos Delgado Imbert hizo, simplemente para que vean un poco de qué va el ChatGPT y de esas oportunidades para el mundo de la música.
Donde uno quiere llevar la conversación, hacia donde la quiere llevar, la puede llevar. Entonces, este ejemplo que les presento, le pido a ChatGPT, por favor, desarrolla una idea para el guión de un video de una canción titulada ChatGPT en la música. Bien, tenemos el guión, buen contenido, varios. El detalle principal que más valor le trae esta respuesta de ChatGPT es las escenas. El video comienza con una imagen de un escritorio en una habitación y aparece ChatGPT, el protagonista. Según se cierra el telón, ChatGPT comienza a explorar los diferentes géneros musicales, saltando de un género a otro. Tercera escena. En la siguiente escena, ChatGPT se encuentra en un estudio de grabación. Y la última escena muestra a ChatGPT en un escenario. Es decir, le pedimos un guión a ChatGPT solamente indicando el título de la canción, no más detalles, y nos crea una historia con un personaje principal, con diferentes escenas, con la historia, con la última escena. O sea, que ChatGPT te dé el concepto de esta es la última escena, este es el final.
Como les dije, esas eran solo pinceladas de lo que ChatGPT puede hacer, no solamente para la música, sino para muchos otros sectores. Es importante que nos mantengamos atentos a todo el desarrollo de esto, porque hay oportunidades, pero también hay amenazas, sobre todo para los que estamos en el área de creación, de contenido o de mercadeo de nuestros productos. Por último, no quiero dejar que pase esta oportunidad de recordarles que del 31 de mayo al 5 de junio se va a celebrar en nuestro país Agroalimentaria 2023, que es la feria principal del sector de alimentos y bebidas que se celebra en toda la región del Caribe. Agroalimentaria va a ser presencial después de la pandemia, es la primera vez que viene a nuestro país, y lo importante es que ya hay más de 200 compradores inscritos para venir a comprarle a la República Dominicana. Este esfuerzo de la Junta Agroempresarial Dominicana y de ProDominicana hay que apoyarlo. Ustedes tienen que aprovechar. Si usted es una empresa de alimentos y bebidas, frescos o procesados, tiene que inscribirse en esta feria para participar en las rondas de negocios y en toda la amplia oferta de jornadas técnicas, de ponencias donde se hablan de los requisitos y de las oportunidades de los diferentes mercados para la República Dominicana. Yo estaré el día 2 presente con ustedes. Pero hay que aprovechar esta oportunidad. Siempre decimos que no tenemos oportunidad, que no podemos conectar con los mercados. Cuando vienen los compradores, hay un esfuerzo extraordinario público-privado para que todos esos compradores de Estados Unidos, de Europa, de Centroamérica, Latinoamérica, el Caribe, vengan a nuestro país y estén ahí sentados frente a ustedes, donde ustedes puedan ofertarles sus bienes y servicios. Hay que prepararse para ello y en el próximo programa hablaremos un poquito de eso, pero mientras tanto, inscríbase en las jornadas técnicas, inscríbase en las rondas de negocios y participe en Agroalimentaria 2023 porque es una oportunidad única que ustedes tienen en las manos de conectar con el mundo y de vender sus productos. Muchísimas gracias por su sintonía esta semana y los esperamos la próxima semana en Ready para Exportar y en Metrópolis.